The water phase is just any ingredient that is soluble in water. So you start with the starch, wet it out with a little bit of glycerin, add the water. It's better to do it under the stirrer, keep it going, keep it moving so that it doesn't cause any lumps or anything like that. Then add a few drops of the preservative. First ingredient was hydroxypropyl starch phosphate. Now this builds viscosity to a product. So you know how you use starches to thicken gravies and stuff like that? This is exactly the same principle. It'll just thicken the solution and it will give the perception of a customer that it's more luxurious. When a formulation is quite thin, people assume that it's cheaply made, so it really adds luxury to the product. The next ingredient is glycerin, and glycerin is used as a moisturising agent. So what it does is it sits on the skin and it attracts moisture from the air into the skin. So it's a really cheap ingredient to use, but you'll find it in most formulations on the market because it's just brilliant. Then we have water. It's used in everything, super cheap, and it's the bulk of the foundation. Then we use some preservative, which is phenoxyethanol and ethyl hexyl glycerin. This is a more natural sort of preservative rather than the typical parabens and things like that that have been getting a lot of negative press at the moment. Start weighing out the oil phase, so you've got your sweet almond and your emulsifier. Give that a little stir and then slowly add that in to the emulsion. Now the key is to do it slow and you want it on a high speed. We went in with some sweet almond oil. It's a moisturising agent. Now this is just from the almonds, they're cold pressed and deodorised so there's no smell, and then filtered out just so we get this lovely clear colour. As we all know, water and oil are immiscible, they won't mix together. So we need an emulsifier. Now this material, what it does is it wraps itself around an oil droplet so that it will lower the surface tension between water and oil. So that's why you get that white emulsion, like milk. Milk is an emulsion of fat and water. So this really is the lifesaver of all emulsions. And then finally, we just add some fragrance into there. Now, fragrance, you have to be careful because there's a lot of allergens in fragrance. So that's why when you buy a product, you'll always see at the bottom, limonene, linalool. They always have to be labelled. A lot of people are allergic to fragrance, so you have to be careful. That's why the brand Simple don't use any fragrance because it's very irritating. But me personally, the more fragrance, the merrier. I love it.